6 p.m. We're on, the record is open. Calling the meeting to order, sorry. Old habits. All right, first we have the approval of the agenda. Any comments before we move to approve? Hearing none. Anyone wish to?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimously approved. Next up is the approval of the minutes from July 14, 2025, and I express my appreciation to Melissa for handling that meeting while I was absent. Any comments on the minutes from July 14?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. Next up is the public forum. Is there any person who wishes to speak before the commission this evening? No, it doesn't look like it. We've got some observers, which is great. Welcome. All right. Next up is the request for a certificate of appropriateness to construct a detached garage at 704 Kellogg Avenue in the Old Town Historic District.
Yes, I'm going to present the report.
Okay.
I want to introduce you to our new planner, Parker Walsh. And he actually had worked quite a lot on this report. He prepared this report. And we're happy to have him in the department. He's been here now, what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Welcome, Parker.
Yeah, time goes fast.
Thank you.
But we're glad to have him here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here and hope to be around for a long time.
Good.
Okay, the first item is the certificate of appropriateness to construct a detached garage at 704 Kellogg in the Old Town Historic District. On the screen, there's a location map. It's located here. This is 7th Street here, Kellogg. It fronts on Kellogg. It's in this location. And the garage that's proposed would be accessed off the alley. And the garage would be placed here. Here's the alley. And there's an existing detached garage at that location presently. And that will remain, at least for the time being. They're not proposing demolition of it at this time. But they are proposing construction of this new garage. And it requires that a certificate of appropriateness be granted by the Historic Preservation Commission prior to approval of a building permit for this proposed garage. The garage itself is that's proposed is more of a utilitarian type design. It's an arts and crafts type design shown in this graphic with the 2 bays and the gable roof, a 612 pitch, and they propose the wood siding and metal clad windows. Be 24 by 24. With a paved area in front. It would be, as you see here on this drawing, with a separate garage door for each bay. Again, 24 by 24, and then there'll be a 20-foot deep paved area in front of that garage that will be accessed off the alley then. For windows, they propose a window on the south side and on the north side, and a pedestrian access doorway on the south side. And the windows will be of this design, as you see here. Consistent, a double hung window with divided lights in the upper sash. And that's consistent with the arts and crafts design guidelines, design criteria. And then they propose to use a wood door from actually in the house. It's kind of dark here, but it's a 3 or 4 panel door here with divided lights at the top, be the 6 individual lights. And that's what they propose to use on the garage for pedestrian access. And then the garage door or doors would be of this design with the 3 horizontal solid inset panels, and then the 4 divided lights across the top with the to provide some light into the garage. And it's a metal door, which is consistent with the design guidelines. Fairly straightforward, basic garage design. Again, it will be wood siding, metal clad windows, the wood door that was used on the interior of the house previously, 612 pitch roof, paved driveway, paved parking area in the garage for the vehicles. And the dimensions of the siding are consistent with the design criteria for that style of architecture. And with that, the recommendation by the Planning and Housing Department is for approval. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
You said there would be wood siding.
Wood siding,
So
yep.
parallel.
Horizontal siding, beveled siding, yeah, with reveal, yeah. So it'll be consistent with the historic siding design for other buildings in the district.
Any other questions or comments?
It looks pretty, I'm just looking at the Google Street View here, but all of that was fairly consistent with the house itself. And even as you kind of zoom around there, I mean, from the front yard, this particular street, you don't really see back to the rear yards there. So, I mean, only spot you might catch a glimpse of it is actually from the side street looking down the alley. And even there, that other property has a garage right there. So, I mean, the visuals were just fine for the garage, I think. And even on top of that, I mean, you won't see this garage from any of the public streets really anyways. So,
Right. I would then propose that we take the recommendation, excuse me, to approve the detached garage construction at 704 Kellogg Avenue.
And it's with the condition of the paving. They either have to use the existing paving that's in the current garage, or if they choose to remove that, then they have to put in paving that's consistent with today's standards, which would be more paving. There's about an 8-foot gap between the alley and the garage that they would need to fill in with concrete. And then they'd have to have parking spaces that would be at least 19 feet deep. The property owners are here and their contractor. I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just- Okay, is
I'm sorry.
there,
That's the next item. Yes.
okay. Would you like to say anything or
Yeah,
have
but
any
the property
questions for
owner is
us?
here. Yes, she is.
I would like to thank you for the work that you do preserving our historic properties. And then I'd also like to thank these gentlemen because they helped me look at the existing garage and kind of determine what that future might be. And then I contacted the State Historical Society, and I think John Miller was his name. He came and looked at it. He's a historic preservation architect. So he looked at the old building and said, you might just want to build something else. So I'm following the guidance from the preservation people here, and then also the state historical preservation architect.
Just a quick question. Do you have any concerns about walking all the way from that garage to the house during the winter?
That's exactly what my sister asked me. And I've been looking at heated sidewalk.
I don't think we require anything.
No, it's not required, but yeah, I've thought of that. And with Iowa snow, you never know how much you're going to get or when. So, yeah.
It looks like your existing driveway is from the front of the house.
Yes.
And then, but this one is going to be accessible from the alley, not the front of the house.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and that cement slab is going to be 20 feet long and 30 feet wide.
And the garage has a cement floor too, right?
It will, yeah. It'll have, I think that concrete
Concrete,
pad.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. I move to approve the certificate of appropriateness to construct a detached garage at 704 Kellogg Avenue. Any second?
With the conditions, right?
With the
Oh, well, yep,
conditions
the
noted.
condition. That was for the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah,
other,
that wasn't
okay,
on this one.
got it.
Yes.
Okay,
I was getting ahead of myself.
okay, all right,
I'll second.
all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous approval. Thank you. All right, next up is the request for a certificate of appropriateness to demolish a detached garage at 317 9th Street in the Old Town Historic District.
Yes, here's a location map for that. It's located here. This is 9th Street here. There's an alley here. And it was determined by staff in the inspections department that garage met the conditions to be declared a dangerous building. It has not officially been declared a dangerous building. They gave the property owner the opportunity to repair the building and bring it back into good condition. But the property owner has chosen to apply for a demolition permit. And then prior to issuance of a demolition permit, they have to get permission from the Historic Preservation Commission to demolish this existing detached garage because it is a contributing structure in the Old Town Historic District.
Mhm.
And built in 1920. And it was part of the survey of structures that was done back in 2003 in the Old Town Historic District. Here's a photograph from that time showing the alley is in this location. Those two garage doors face the alley, and then this is the south side of the building. And so at that time, it was in better condition than it is today. Today, it looks more like this, with a lot of deterioration on the roof and some bowing of the walls, holes in the roof. In your packet, there's a series of photographs showing that. Here's one that shows that. Here's another one, some significant openings in the roof. And I understand a tree fell on the roof also, and then this photograph shows some bowing of the wall here, where you can see with how the door panel is more angled. So they have applied for a demolition permit, but first they need this certificate of appropriateness for demolition of an historic garage. And they propose to demolish it, but they do not propose to replace it. And they don't have to replace it, but they want to demolish it. They are required to have 2 paid parking spaces on site for a single-family dwelling. That's a zoning requirement in that zoning district. And so there is concrete in the garage now, but there's a gap between the concrete and the alley where it's not paved. And it's a non-conforming situation, but it would be allowed to continue if they want to keep that concrete and park on that. If they choose to remove the concrete, then they have to meet the current standards for paving. Would have to pave all the way from the alley, and would have to have an 8-foot of concrete in addition to the 16-foot wide alley to make the 24 feet of maneuvering space as a drive aisle. And then they would have the parking spaces that would be 19 feet deep. So they would have to have 27 feet of concrete from the alley into the lot. If they choose to remove the existing concrete, or they can stay with the existing concrete. So there are criteria in the Chapter 31 for demolition of contributing garages, and it's more permissive than it is for houses. If it's a house, you have to meet all the criteria. If it's a garage, the commission is to consider these factors that are the criteria in determining whether the garage is not good, whether it's practicable to retain that garage, or even if it's a contributing garage. We have evidence that it's a contributing garage from that 2003 survey that documented that. So I don't think that's really a question, but whether it's practicable to retain this structure is really what you're looking at tonight. And those criteria, the first one talks about historical significance, determine whether the garage contributes to the historic character of the house based on historical and architectural research. As stated on the Iowa State Inventory Form for that address. We believe, that it is historically significant, but the condition of it is certainly deteriorated to the point that needs to either be reconstructed or removed. So architectural integrity, there's a list of criteria in your report. The one that applies most directly is the loss of original materials due to removal or deterioration. They had an inspection done and determined that there's rotting wood and some carpenter ants that have done some damage to the structure itself. They did a pest inspection, and due to that deterioration, the contractor has noted that the entire structure would need to be torn down and rebuilt with the damage that has occurred. Another factor to look at is functionality. You know, can they use this garage for something other than the parking of the vehicles? But in its current condition, you know, it's about ready to collapse without significant repair. And so to use it for some other functional purpose is probably not a realistic expectation. And then the structural condition is the other factor that the commission is to look at. And certainly there is damage from insects, rotted wood, integrity of the roof system has been compromised. And so those could be used as reasons for approving the demolition of the garage, certainly with its deteriorating condition and decay caused by the insects that have attacked the wood. And so staff recommends that the commission approve alternative 1 that would allow demolition of the garage, subject to the condition that the property owner maintain a minimum of 2 concrete parking spaces to meet the minimum standards for parking for a single-family dwelling. If it finds that the existing garage is not a contributing garage or not practicable to be retained on the site as described in Chapter 31, that's what you need to make as a finding that it's not practicable to retain it. But we would add that condition about the paving that's necessary for parking spaces, either retain what's there or put in paving to meet the current standards. With that, I'm open for any questions you might have.
Apparently, the existing concrete floor of the garage is
It's cracked.
cracked, but
Yeah.
it would satisfy the parking space
Yeah.
requirement.
If it, since it exists, you know, it's still non-conforming in terms of paving extending all the way from the alley to the parking spaces. But since it's existing, non-conforming, they could retain it if they choose to. But if they remove it, then you have to meet the current standards.
But the floor is in a lot better shape than the garage.
I haven't seen the floor. I understand it's cracked and I don't know if it's uneven or not, but regardless, they could use it for parking.
Any other questions? Does the
I mean,
property owner wish to make a statement or ask questions? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Hi, my name's John Malloy. I'm the owner of MP Custom Service. The concrete is going to have to come out. The concrete is cracked so bad that over the years with the winter and all that other stuff, Iowa weather, it's gotten into the concrete and it's heaved it up. So once we take down the structure, we're going to have to replace the concrete with an approach, which I'm working on planning and zoning with that now. After the machine drives on it, it's going to just get worse. So unfortunately, we can't save anything on the concrete side. So it's cracked all the way across. There's gaps in it where you can stick your whole hand into, and that's from left to right, basically. So it's not even worth saving. So, but we are going to put in 2 spots with the the planning and zoning, we're working on the approach and the new slab. So, but after the machine drives on it and takes everything out, the concrete's going to turn into gravel. So it's just bad.
Is the plan to, at some point in the future, construct a garage?
As of right now, no.
Okay.
We are just going to go ahead and make it into a parking space for 2 vehicles.
Okay.
But we're going to bring it up to city code, basically. And like I said, I'm working with planning and zoning, Sarah downstairs, on what we need to do to make sure everything's correct. So just in case one day there is going to be a garage built, we're going to be fine.
That you could use that same
Correct.
slab? Okay,
Correct. So,
makes sense.
but that's later down the road. But right now, it's right now my main focus is to get it down because it's in such a dangerous option right now. Like here on the front, you can't really tell, but if you were to walk inside right now, it could come over at any minute. So that's one reason to take it down. So I was up there 3 weeks ago, and then I don't remember the exact date. And then I was up there last week, and I actually had to kick the side door in. It had moved another, I think, 8 or 9 inches towards the alley. So yeah, so it's not good. And right now we're at the point where it could cause property damage to Sandy and Michael's property and the next door neighbor, and or even if it does decide it wants to come towards the alley, which it is, it could prevent people from getting out of their driveways as well. So yeah, it's a big safety issue right now. So
All right, thank you.
yes, ma'am.
So in effect, if we're approving a COA for the demolition of the garage, we're including the floor then.
Yeah, well, you can just include it as it's written there that they provide a minimum of 2 on-site parking spaces.
Okay.
And then we'll work with them to make sure it's done according to code.
And then just to be clear, I guess, if at some point down the line, a new garage is to be constructed, then that will also have to go through for a COA process.
Yes,
And so just to make sure that the property owners are aware of that we have to go through that, again, to approve that design. So, yeah.
I suggest that we adopt the staff recommendation of alternative 1 to issue a COA to allow demolition, subject to the condition of the construction and maintenance of 2 on-site parking spaces.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. Thank you for attending tonight. Next up is commission comments. Anyone have anything to bring up or add or?
I will say that per last month's meeting, a few of us, Scott, Bob, and I met to discuss, per our 2025 work plan, we met to discuss our, one of our goals for the year, which was to consider changes to Chapter 31 to allow exterior materials on historic structures that would meet the standards and be energy efficient. So we took a look at that. Unfortunately, we met last Thursday, and so I wasn't able to get it on the agenda in time. So we have a couple suggestions, I think, that we would welcome discussion from the rest of the commission, but we'll have to wait until the next meeting in September to fully discuss that. But just wanted to get it, I guess, on the record that we did in fact meet, and we'll talk about that a bit more next month.
Great, thank you for your work on that. All right, anyone else? Then we'll go to staff comments. Anything further?
there was one certificate of appropriateness we approved that we gave you a memo of offense on Douglas.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep, I
And,
saw that. Uh-huh.
At the next meeting, you will be considering the National Register nomination for
Oh.
the Chautauqua Park Ridgewood edition. Yeah. and recommendation to the State Nominations Review Committee. And that meeting of the State Nomination Review Committee will be October 10th.
Okay.
And
Does anyone from here need to attend?
our consultant will attend, I will attend. We don't necessarily need commission members to attend. I mean, I think it's open to the public. But,
Okay.
yeah, so that will be the last step prior to the State Nomination Review Committee considering the nomination.
Okay, so where are we? Has it gone through the national people?
No, it
Go here
goes, it
first.
goes to the National Park Service once the State Nomination
Okay.
Review Committee reviews it, and then, they may have some changes or, some things that need to be adjusted in the nomination. And then it goes to the National Park Service. Then the National Park Service is the final determination on including it on the National Register. So no more drafts of the, well, there may be after the State Nomination Review Committee, but no more drafts prior to that.
Great, okay. Are you going to let Eloise know?
Oh, yeah.
Good,
Yep.
good. I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that.
Yes, you will.
Anything further?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right. Is there any objection to adjourning? Move to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously approved. Thank you all for attending today. Thank you very much. Good night.